What do you hope the garden does for people? How do you want them to feel about it?
I hope that people are able to come here and enjoy nature, have a place to be involved in maybe not their local backyard, a place for community gathering and engagement and working with the earth.
A historic house and garden tucked away in Old Palo Alto, a vibrant treasure on Waverly that holds an old past and a rich legacy. Elizabeth F. Gamble Garden. Open to the public for over 30 years, it stands as a, quote, community resource for horticultural education, inspiration, and enjoyment. Parents Edwin and Elizabeth Gamble had moved from Kentucky to Palo Alto in 1901 with their children James, George, Elizabeth, and Lancelot Gamble. Reason being, James had entered into Stanford University. The construction of the main house and carriage house had begun in 1902, just outside of Palo Alto city limits. Special arrangements even had to be made to have electricity reach the building. A couple years later, in 1908, Walter A. Hoff designed the formal gardens. The three boys had become Stanford graduates. However, Elizabeth graduated from Wellesley in 1910. After returning home from her years in college, she had developed a passion for gardening. Over time, the gardens would be full of an amazing collection of roses and irises, as well as a variety of other plants, like vegetables and trees. When Edwin Gamble passed away in 1939, it was Elizabeth who inherited the estate. Miss Gamble commissioned architect Allen Hymes Reed in 1948 to build a tea house and patio meant as a meeting place for community groups, which is still widely used today. Against the brick wall of the tea house stands a 7-foot-tall topiary rabbit made of English boxwood. After she passed away in 1981 at the age of 92, Elizabeth Gamble left both the house and garden to the city of Palo Alto. For the next 4 years, the city council would be unsure of what to do with the estate. Interest groups lobbied for a variety of uses for the property. There were many ideas, including more lawn bowling green, a teen center or artist studio in the house, and even selling the property for development of senior or low-income housing. Eventually, in 1985, the Garden Club of Palo Alto, a non-profit separate organization, led a successful campaign to restore and maintain the property. The Garden Club had frequently been invited to visit Miss Gamble's garden, and their wish was for the property to be preserved and become a public horticultural center. In the same year, the garden was able to go public. How did you become involved with the garden?
So I moved to Palo Alto about 6 months ago, and I was looking for a job in the nonprofit area. I live right down the street and had come here previously, was interested in being a part of the organization. So I applied for the open position, and I've been working here for just a couple of months.
How has the garden been able to stay free to the public for over 30 years?
The garden has been self-sustaining through individual donations from people in the community. We have a membership program, which people pay an annual membership fee, and they get to be part of our events. We don't take any money from the city or county or federal government, so completely self-sustaining based on donations.
The garden holds many events throughout the year, and I was able to go to the Fun with Flowers event. There were a variety of activities, including guided tours, a flower arrangement workshop, student ballet dancers, and more. The organizers of the flower arrangement workshop were kind enough to talk about their role in the event. How long have you been volunteering at the garden?
Well, first of all, we all volunteer at the garden here, but we're also members of the Palo Alto Garden Club, which is 100 years old this year. We're not 100 years old, but the Garden Club is 100 years old. And the Garden Club every year in May does a community outreach where we buy flowers and jars, and then we have a flower arranging workshop for free for young children. And it's really successful, I would say. We probably at least 100 arrangements were made, kind of in a short period of time. Margie's in charge of it, and she organized us all and bought all the flowers all came together, cut the flowers apart, set everything up, helped the kids make arrangements. We have a lovely ex-kindergarten teacher here, and that's it. Now we're cleaning up.
What's your favorite part about being in the Palo Alto Garden Club?
Oh, I think, well, it's a tie between all the friends that I've made and being able to talk to my friends about gardening. Yeah. And there's a very big volunteer component into being in the garden club, and we all enjoy that because it gives us a kind of a purposeful way to pursue our interests.
There were also many more volunteers, some of which ran their own tents. How long have you been volunteering?
Well, I've been coming to Gamble Garden for over 30 years, and I've been a volunteer for probably 10 years, and doing guiding and demonstration tables for about 5 years.
And what's your favorite part about volunteering?
My favorite part is actually meeting people and talking to people and explaining the biology of flowers, because it's something that most people don't really know a lot about, and it's always surprising to them.
Not only is this garden free, but it is also welcoming. All of the staff members are very kind and willing to help. If you have any questions, you can locate the admin email on their website, gamblegarden.org. However, they already have a lot of information on the website. If anyone is interested in visiting the garden, the address is 1431 Waverly Street. Once again, this is a wonderful place to visit, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching.